All right, what's up, everybody? Looks like I need to get my right mic going. I don't know how much that impacted the sound,
That's
but
way better.
now I have the podcast mic going. So guys, it is February 21st, 2025. Tell me if you guys are just blown away with how fast this year is going. Like it is just flying. I can't believe we're already in the, almost through, we're almost in March. I mean, it's crazy. We are less than 2 weeks from the Modern Mortgage Summit. So if you have not gotten your tickets yet, it is, yeah, probably the most widely attended event in mortgage every year. There's been over 4,000, I think 5,000 tickets sold. It's mostly virtual. However, there are still tickets to be there in person. It's a small studio with only 60 leather back reclining seats. So it's a very cool influencer studio. Those go for $1,000 and I think there's about 10 seats left. But it's all the speakers will be at the event, plus just a lot of industry leaders and industry influencers will be at the event. So check it out, modernmortgagesummit.com. There'll be a link down below. Make sure you check it out. What's up, D Bird? You got to
You
be
know,
Todd and yourself today.
yeah, he's having me do this a lot for him. I feel like I'm almost his other twin. I have one twin and then he's my male twin. But I just want to say for the Modern Mortgage Summit, guys, for those of you who can be there live, like one, it's just so much more comfortable than the typical seats when you go to a conference. But to go live and be able to pick the brains of like the top producers and meet them face to face and ask all your questions, like there's not anything better with getting all of them in one room. So I just really want to echo, I will be there. I would love to meet some of you face to face. And if I can't do it face to face, then we could always do virtually. But, be selfish and choose yourself. There's no greater investment than pouring into your own self other than real estate, right? So, and 1 week left of this month. So a week from today, get ready to start tracking your numbers. If you have a win by noon planner, make sure you're tracking them in the planner, but it's important to track activities and results. So one more week left. Let's finish the month strong.
Yeah, let's go. Also, I was reading a post by Craig Davis today on LinkedIn. It was a really good post, and it's like there's a shift that's taken place, and there's a lot of people that are still doing business, the old way. Like, what is the shift? And there's it's not even a new normal. It's just the normal. And the normal is winning, hitting your goals, being profitable with high interest rates. Like that, like could rates come down this year? Absolutely. Should we be planning on rates coming down this year? Absolutely not. And I commented in the post that the most important thing that can happen, like if you're an executive at a lender, um, is to empower and train your producing managers to not only be modern mortgage advisors, but to equip and train all the loan officers that work for them to be modern mortgage advisors. Like being a loan officer is just not the winning strategy going forward. So couldn't be a better guest today than Scott Nicholson, who I've known Scott for multiple decades, and he's always the modern mortgage originator. Like wherever the puck is going, this guy has always been there. So what's up, Scott?
Good morning. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here with you and Deb.
Yeah, no, it's exciting to have you, and I
Yeah.
know that you're helping more modern mortgage originators than ever
Yep.
uh, differentiate in the marketplace. And I know you also picked this headline, "Standing
Yep.
Out."
Yep.
Why did you pick that as the headline for today's mastermind?
First of all, I'm going to give Mr. Ryan Grant the props for that. He actually spoke in his Loan Atlas, community yesterday, and a couple of my members goes, "Hey, Ryan was talking about you, but he's specifically talking about standing out." I go, "There it is." I literally just changed the header of my presentation. I go, "That's what we're going to talk about because that's what we're doing, right?" So we're going to break it all down and show without giving away my presentation, but we're going to talk about standing out because if you listen to all the calls here, correct me if I'm wrong, Deb, like, and you know this really well, how many top originators already stand out? They do. they've already done the work to stand out. And look
Mhm.
at Shane, your sister, Shane, Jeremy, Dan. They're more about hands-on. They're more about like getting in front of the client and meeting them. I think your sister just did an event where the 99% of the community really needs to, because they're going to get left behind, start to stand out like the top
Mhm.
1%ers are already done and mastered. So that's the premise of today.
That's a really good point because I hear a lot of times people will say, I want to be like this or I want to get to this point. And I'm like, but you can't do what they're doing right now. Like you have to look at what did they do to get there, to stand out, to build the repeatable reputation at
Yeah.
scale where they
Yeah.
they already have trust. So
Yeah.
if you're like the 99% of the rest of the community who's really wanting to eventually work your way up and be the modern top producer, well, then that's what we're going to learn on today's calls. What are those things you need to be doing to then attain that?
Yeah, exactly right. And everyone wants to go be like Denise, like the nerd, like right now. Whoa, she's putting in a lot of work to get there. Like,
Yeah.
so she's a PGA pro, right? An LPGA, right? You just can't go from just I hit some range balls and I'm going to go be like Denise. It's not going
I
to
mean, I
happen.
can't eat a salad and work out once and lose 30 pounds.
No.
Darn
And
it.
before we get going, just so you know, I actually got a ticket, so I will be attending the Modern Mortgage Summit. So I'm excited. I love
Yay.
that. I went like 2 years ago, so I think it's a really cool event when you can get intimate and really have dialogue. So I'll see some of you there, those who will be there. So
All
there you go,
right.
Dave.
And by the way, if you are attending the event in person, let us know in chat. If you've already got your ticket and you're gonna be online watching it live, let us know in chat. I would just love to get a vibe of how many folks that are on this call right now watching it live that are attending. If you watch this on YouTube, you can still put it in comments, give us a like, help us with the algorithms, give us a comment. Also, big shout out to Loan Atlas, hearing that you got the title from that.
Yep.
If you are not familiar with Loan Atlas, we'll put a link down below, but it's loanatlas.com or theloanatlas.com. An
Yep.
incredible community dedicated to helping everybody achieve peak performance. So, like whatever your peak performance is, this is an incredible coaching platform. Not only does it have great teachings, best practices, but accountability, weekly calls. Check out Loan Atlas. We'll put a link down below. And thank you, Ryan Grant, for being the inspiration to today's mastermind. I didn't even know
There you
that.
go. Yeah, he
Um,
didn't know it. He just finding out too, probably.
yeah, right on, right on. So let's talk about that, and I do want to cover, how you stand out with realtors is different than how someone might stand out with builders. I've interviewed a
Yeah.
lot of loan officers. Patty Newby, who I know uses
Yep.
your platform,
Mhm.
she is standing out with builders, and
Yep.
she's also standing out with realtors.
Mhm.
Also, how you would stand out with a financial advisor is different. And so I would love if you would cover, I don't know, different strategies around how to
Yep.
stand out. What are some of the
Yep.
strategies that you recommend, or some of the pillars that you'd like to cover,
Yeah.
just so I can get a
Yeah.
list of those?
So number one, I have a deck for us. So we're going to get into the deck, and then the four pieces or elements we're going to cover. So thank you for bringing that up. Is we're going to talk about the consumer. All of us get leads somehow, or all of you guys get leads. So we're going to focus on how do we convert that lead? How do I stand out with that direct consumer who has a lot of information now? And that's a critical point right there. I don't care how many agents you have or builders, and if you can't convert the lead, then what good is it? So we're going to talk about that. Number two, once you convert that consumer, how are you standing out and getting that offer accepted? Because without an offer accepted in escrow, no one gets a house and you don't make your business is dead. And that's number two. Number three, then where are these sources coming from? Where are these consumers coming
Wait, wait,
from?
wait. Consumer, and then what was number two?
The lead,
Offer.
the offer. So we're going to talk about
How do you get your offer to stand out so
Oh,
that
okay,
then
okay. Offer. Got it.
yep.
Okay.
Sorry. Thanks, Deb. Then
that's
number
what I'm here
three,
for?
yeah, where are these leads coming from? So we're going to break down an agent and we're going to break down a builder and really help you stand out to those two. So we're going to spotlight those four. in particular.
Okay. Well, I want to get a list going, and I also would love anybody in chat that if you want to put a list. And on my list, I think when I think of consumers, I think there's nuance, but it's different between how you stand out with a homeowner, someone that's
Hmm.
moving up, moving down, versus
Hmm.
someone that's a renter. You know,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
nuance, but it's different. I like the offer. I hadn't thought of that. I like
Hmm.
the realtor. I like the builder. I want to
Hmm.
add advisors, financial
Oh yeah.
advisors.
Yep.
And then I also want to do open house because how you would stand out at an open house,
Yep. Yep.
I think is unique. And then if anybody's listening to this, if there was one, could be who we listed, could be someone we didn't list. How do you want to stand out? Like put that in chat right now. I want to get a list of all the different
Really
sources.
think divorce attorney should be on there.
Okay,
Yep.
boom, there we go. Divorce
Yep.
attorneys. Who
Yep.
do you want to stand out with? And then also, I just noticed we got Tim Lamb in the house. What's
Oh
going on, buddy?
yeah.
Looks like he's going to be watching the replay, he said. So, Tim, please be active on this if you've got some ideas to share or anything. Heck, we could even promote you to panelist at some time during the call
Yep.
if you want to jump on stage here.
Ask him this. Ask him because he's a client of ours. Ask him if he can maybe drop one of his links at how he stands out. So
Ooh, did you get the memo on that,
Mm.
Tim? We would love
yeah.
an example. And I
Yeah.
have a feeling that we're asking
Right.
for a housing link,
Yep.
housing.link.
Mhm.
Yep.
Also, Katie Shiv, who runs
Yep.
marketing for First Home IQ, just said would be
Yep.
nice niching first time home buyers,
Yep.
comma Gen Z. So
Yep.
good point. Like it could also be demographically. How do we stand out with those? Anyways, good. We're getting some good interaction. So thank
I
you
mean,
for
I think
some
it's
of
important
those.
too with first time home buyers. You have some that are still living with mom and dad and some that are
Yep.
renting. So
Yep.
there's a difference in payment shock if they're living free with mom and dad and different
Yep.
messaging for that.
Yeah. Hey, good point. So Scott, you mentioned you got a deck. Anything else you want to say before you start teaching and sharing?
Yeah, my week has been crazy. I was going to make the announcement about the third or fourth slide, but I'll save it for about that and just make a pretty significant announcement to the public. Something my current members already know about, but I'll make an announcement because today's the day for this, so I can make that announcement. Is that cool?
Yeah, let's go. Like,
All right, let's
like
go. I'm
what
gonna
a
share.
tease.
I know, right? Okay, there's my deck. You guys see that? All right, cool.
Yeah, I like
Oh, I
the
like
image.
it.
So let's go. And again, I'm going to shout out to Ryan. You know, that was it. So he gave me the trigger point, the keyword. That's it, because everything else just flowed right in behind this and how we're going to talk about. And like Deb and I were just conversing a second ago, is the nerd is where she's at because she's put work. Same with Keller. Same with everyone you bring on this panel, Dave. They've done all the heavy lifting, and it's more about like being in touch, right? Staying engaged, right? Shank makes what you guys make 100 phone calls a day or 90 phone calls now. That's what you have to do to maintain. But I'm going to talk about the 99% or so to speak, that we can help get into standing out. Because if you don't, you're going to be like this slide. These are all the LOs in our industry that if you're not standing out, you're going to get left behind with technology, AI, chat. People don't know who's real, who's fake. I'll give you a quiz, Deb. Tell me which person is real here. Which LO is real? If I'm a
The one with the ball
consumer,
cap, the guy with the ball cap.
okay, is that your only guess? Real?
That's my guess, just because it's the everything
Yep.
else is a little more quality image. So we're just,
Yep.
I don't know if that's why you called him out, but
Yep. So all of them are fake. I generated them all. So
uh,
imagine as a
that's
consumer,
cheating. That's
That was a
cheating.
I know.
trick question.
Well, they don't, but consumers don't know that. Agents don't
Yeah.
know that, right? Everyone tries to alter things and this and that. And,
Yeah,
who's,
and the AI is getting
really-
really good, guys.
the
So
point is, and it's really hard to stand out if everyone has perfect prompts, everyone has perfect videos and such like that. Authenticity or being authentic, I think, is going to make a huge way back into our industry. Because if you don't, this is the LO, right? Moving forward, and I'm fearful. So simple put here is the LOs that stand out aren't the loudest, they're the most valuable, period. And we're going to talk about that today in great detail. So here's the
Although I
announcement.
would say, Scott, there are some really valuable LOs that don't get the business because they don't know how to stand out online. But
That's the whole,
they
that,
may have good advice, but if nobody knows about
but
you,
that's, and here's the
yeah.
beauty. Thank you for that. That's exactly right. How many LOs are valuable? How many LOs know how to solve problems, but they don't
Mm-hmm.
have a platform? And that's what today's
Mm-hmm.
about. I'm going to give
Yes.
them a platform that they can stand out today. And so here it is. So today we're launching live to the public Housing Link. We launched it this week earlier to a soft launch to members only. So starting today, you can go to Housing Link and you can get everything that we're going to show and talk about today to help you stand out. So with that, I'm going to break this, as I said, Dave, into 4 components. Please, everyone, get their phones out. It's super interactive. I'll be putting content on your phones that you guys can take home for later this afternoon, tonight, the weekend, and look at exactly, what we've been talking about and showing you today. So the first one, I believe, is the consumers to focus on. Everyone, Dave, you said it recently on a call. Everyone loves to hunt, right? Go get the next transaction. But yet, what we really need to do is stay home and convert what we have in our, as far as consumers and leads. How do I go from 2 to 10 conversion to maybe 4 to 10 or 5 to 10? So, the consumers, I want you to think about this. Here's my question to everybody. How are you standing out to those consumers? Think about that. I'm going to pause for a few seconds. Think about the processes you do, the Mortgage Coach TCA, which is a great start. And then now I want you to pull your phone out. So this is how we stand out in today's market. So what I'm showing you, this is called a buyer consultation or a buyer consultation process. And I've broken it down into 4 steps to show you. So I believe the foundation, dealing with consumers, it's the consultation. And then getting them in there, figuring out TCA goes out. We're going to look at it right now. So I give you a few seconds to download it on your phone because I'm going to open it up. Let's go ahead and look at the initial consultation and how you stand out with consumers. You guys see any of that?
It's a white.
Oh, there it
Oh,
goes.
there we go. There we go.
So what you're looking at, this is a one-to-many. I pulled some personal stuff off just so I can show you without any, bank stuff on here. So I open with a video and I walk them down a 4-step process, right? To get them to the consultation, figure out what they need, what we need to solve. We get into the consultation. I'm not going to go deep into these. You guys can look at it. That's why I put it on your phones. So our initial consultations, that's a Mortgage Coach TCA that I'm delivering after I met with them. We get them into application, we gather their needs list, and then now we're going to put them back into underwriting, approval, all of that stuff. So
Okay,
that's
but hang
how.
on 1 second, Scott. The link that you had us scan, is that
Yes,
a link that you're sending to clients?
yeah.
Or is
So
that
this,
just for us?
yeah, a little bit of
Oh,
both. So it's
okay.
actually both. Yep.
Okay.
So I wanted to present to a consumer who doesn't know me, right? I can stand out because they're talking with 3 other lenders. Heck, they're talking to your sister. How do I compete with someone at that scale, right? I need to do something different. So step 1, we do the consultation. Step 2, we do the approval. We issue the approval. Step 3, we issue a certified buyer pass so they can go shopping into their open houses. Step 4, we issue and launch into the digital offer. So I can get them from lead into escrow in these 4 steps. Thoughts or questions on that? You guys are quiet.
There's so many use cases for this that I'm thinking of, even like if you had this in every link tree of your partners, either
Yep.
their website or their link tree on their social handles of like, if you need financing, like go
Yep.
here, and you've just solved the.
So I'll open up like the client's been approved, right? Client's been approved through your system. What do you issue them? You issue this, the approval. So now that we've have that consultation. Right. I bring in my buyer agent, right? My buyer agent's in, my production partner's in, my final mortgage coach. Dave, you'll love this. This is a Gracie TCA,
Mm.
right? I don't know if I have that in there. It's a sample real quick, but what I love, you interviewed her like 2 or 3 years ago, and you said, here's what you were approved at, what you wanted. Here's your max. Here's a buy down, and here's a gap, right? Or a 6 month. And so I'll issue the TCA at approval. I'll give them the pre-approval letter. And then now it's something that we've pivoted into where now they get a link and now they can come in and this is what they go shopping. This downloads in their Apple Wallet. You can scan this. This is live. Go ahead and scan that. You're a listing agent and my client walks into your open house and you say, whoa, time out, guys. Are you approved? Are you
Wait, is
working
this
with?
through Housing Link? Like,
Yes.
wow,
So go
cool.
ahead and scan it. So imagine you're a buyer agent or a listing agent at the open house. Remember, Dave talked about the open house.
Mm.
So this is what the buyer gets. So what is that video playing on your cell phones? Remember, you're the listing agent here. You're kind of playing the gatekeeper. That's a video from me, the LO, going, hey, my name is Scott. My clients are fully approved, ready to go. 2 documents in here that you can have for reference, their pre-approval letter. And let's say we do the buyer, I put a sample in there, the buyer broker agreement, good to go. And so it's gamifying it for my consumer, but also shows how serious we are in that open house environment. And
Mm.
so let me just pause for a second. How are you guys feeling if I was an LO and I'm competing with your clients and my clients see this, think about what you do in your business model. You are not standing out.
So I want to break down a few things here and keep this up. So
Mhm.
to me, here's all the reasons that this is modern versus what most loan officers do. What most loan officers do is they send an email, it's got PDFs attached to it. It might have multiple links attached to it. It took time to write. It's just not a clean experience for the consumer. Guys,
Mhm.
to me, we're in the link economy. So it's a link. And then it's a link to multiple other platforms and links. So it's super clean, super useful. I love how even in this presentation, how you're using QR codes. Um, that
Mhm.
that little what's that called? It's in the wallet. It's in the Apple
Yeah, it's
Wallet.
called a pass. It's called a pass.
It's called a
There.
pass, which
Yep.
Dude, that's
anyone who
sweet.
anyone who's checked in to a flight knows how to
Yep.
use
Yeah.
this pass.
Yep.
Most of you, like guys, this is modern. If you are
Mhm.
going and traveling and you're using a paper ticket, you're not using your mobile
Mhm.
device.
Mm.
That's not
Mhm.
a modern way to travel.
Yep.
Uh, People are using apps to travel. So I love the way you're mimicking societal changes and how we do life, and then you're tying that into home ownership. By the way, how does that would you call it again? The wallet, the card? What's
Yeah.
it?
The
Oh, the
pass.
pass. The
Pass.
pass.
Yep.
How does that work? Because I thought like
Yep.
when I scanned on this, I was going to get a pass. How does a
Yep. Yep.
realtor get a pass or a loan officer get a
Yep.
pass?
So this is in beta mode. We're going to release it next month. So I'm playing with it now and testing it. So what I do is I'll just go ahead and push a button, enter a couple fields. So I'll blow this up a little bit just to show you the fields. I'll enter, the pass is valid till 4/15, what they have, what's inside of it, right? Now, remember, your experience that you just went through, Dave, is from an agent at the open house. My
Right.
client's experience is I issue a link to them, they click on it, and it opens the pass and they go add to wallet, and we're done.
Mm.
Got it. Okay, yeah, because that was a whole new move. I've not seen
Yep.
that move. By the way, I would be curious how many people on this call are doing open houses, and I want you to answer it this way. Never would be an option. So if you never
Yeah.
you never support. And by the way, when I say do an open house, it doesn't mean you're doing open houses. It means you're
Mhm.
supporting agents with
Mhm.
strategy and content for them at
Mhm.
open houses. Are you doing it never,
Mhm.
monthly, weekly? So
Mhm.
never, monthly, weekly. I know Sean Herrero is doing it weekly and he's supporting
Yep.
multiple. So far I've got a never. Oh, sometimes it's good too. I've got a
Yep.
weekly. I got a sometimes. And by the way, I'm not asking if you attend open houses. I'm asking, are you supporting agents with content and strategy so that
Yeah.
they get leads and they're
Yeah.
selling more homes because you're their partner?
Yeah.
Yes, sometimes I provide support. So I will tell you, it's a absolute winning strategy. Sean Herrera, who did over 100 million last year, is
Mhm.
doubling down on that strategy. And on any given week, he's doing, helping three different agents with open houses, up to
Mhm.
20. I've interviewed him multiple times recently about this strategy. I'll put a link down below. So if you're watching this in YouTube, in show notes, I'll put the most recent interview with Sean around how he is supporting agents at open houses. Cool.
Yep.
All right. Well, this is
So,
chill.
so yeah. So think of what we did was like I converted the lead, right? That's really important, right? What makes you stand out lead? So I got them, we underwrite them, all that underwriting, approval, and speed. That's not a value add anymore. Those days are done, right? Just because you can do it, fund a loan in 10 or 15 days, cool. Everyone can do that stuff. So then you issue the approval and next steps. Then we gamify it, right? So how does your consumer feel when they're downloading this pass in their wallet? I feel confident. Like,
Mm-hmm.
man, my gal never did this. Not only that, when they show to the open houses, I know agents ask now, do you got a signed buyer broker agreement? What's going on here? Because there's some challenges there that not only that, have you been approved, right? So people stop them at the door and ask. Now they can literally open the wallet, scan it, and then there comes a video from me. I'm marketing myself now at open houses, and my client's there without me, so to speak. So the last piece is tying this down is we found the house. Now what happens? We write the offer. And this is a use case on our platform. It's called the digital offer. I'll open one up. This is just a sample. We'll get to it in a second. But this is the digital offer. Actually, let me go back. Let me just show you because my next slide is the actual offer. So if I were to push this, what we do on our platform at Housing Link, our LOs, when they're approved, they find the house. We make the phone call to the listing agent and we drop a housing link on their phone. And so this is what they're going to see. So they see the voice, they got my voicemail, got a simple text, right? I'm working in conjunction with the buyer agent. Guys, in my more of an active origination days, I convert 79% of my offers. Think about that for a second. That's 8 of 10. And it's because of a process changed. And it's a digital process changed. Not like Dave was saying, a PDF, like an email we've laid out in links. I can create a digital offer with a 1 minute, 30-second video and probably start to finish in about 3 minutes. So there's us standing out with a buyer. So let's move
A
forward. I don't want
question
to,
real quick for
oh yeah, go
everyone
ahead.
right now.
Yeah.
How many of y'all track your offer acceptance rate? Like, do
Mhm.
you know, are you even tracking it? And if you just got a little bit better,
Yep.
what
Now, and
would
if,
that
if,
have done?
you, if you do track it, put your number in chat.
Mhm.
For anyone that is tracking it, what is your offer acceptance rate?
Yep.
Not tracking. But by the way, Sean Herrero tracks that. I mean,
Mm.
he tracks
Yep.
that. He also um, tracks conversion, and I don't know if he's doing it now, but I interviewed him last year. He was tracking the conversion based off of how it was referred to him, and
Yep.
really, I think going from memory, he figured out that when either it's a text intro between the realtor and the loan officer,
Mhm.
or an email, like they actually connect, his
Wow.
conversion is way more than if it's just, willy-nilly
Yep.
referral, which is not shocking, but just a reminder to make sure that you have your agents strategically, consistently refer
Yep.
you either via text or email in a very thoughtful,
Yep.
strategic way.
Which leads into link again, right? Everything's about that link and what you can put into it, what you can deliver, and how quickly you can build trust and stand out.
Mm.
So the offers. So I showed it a little bit real quick, just for 10 seconds. I'm going to pause after this question. What does your offer process look like?
Yeah, and how consistent are you at delivering that best practice experience?
So here's the offer process. So you guys can go ahead and scan. I'll put this on your phone. This is actually, I edited this one. The video you're looking at, I'm going to put this one on your phone. That is me talking to Forrest. I took his last name off. Is the actual digital offer I put on with an agent of mine that we submitted. We work conjunction with the buyer agent. Buyer agent goes right. I go left as the lender. I make the phone call. So in your minds, if you're going, well, Scott, I make a phone call. Well, how many times are they picking it up? And then what do you say? What do you deliver? So in 3.5 years, I think I've spoken to maybe a dozen agents, listing agents who pick up their phones. Most don't, especially with NAR. That number is going down dramatically. And so now I leave the voicemail, start with a text, I dump it in. So when you do a digital offer on Housing Link, this is a template. It's a super easy template. You guys familiar with software called Loom? You can use BombBomb. You can use Zoom Clip, whatever you like. Zoom's an easy one to do, or Loom, I should say, is an easy one to do. So where's my offer at? There it goes. So this is the video. My name is Scott Nicholson. So when I text to him, that is me talking directly to the agent. I have my TCA up. We're just going over, here's how we're going to structure the offer. Client gives authority to share. Here's my appraisal gap protecting it. We went against 5 other offers and we won, right? He texted Anna on Monday from our Friday submission. You weren't the highest, you weren't the best, but for sure your lender, that was A plus, were his exact words. I took some things out of this, but it's just a template. A lot of LOs have, the 10,000 closed guarantee, the little bank, programs. You can put the PDFs in there. There's the pre-approval. I pulled mine out just to put a sample in. The buyer agent goes for a ride so they know, because usually I beat the buyer agent's offer because he or she's submitting an email. I'm doing voice with a text and dropping this link on. Guys, this is a game changer right here. So that's a digital offer. So think about I've just showed you 2 things already and talking about standing out. All you have to do is implement the 2 things. Let's convert more leads and let's win more offers. So now let's pivot into realtors. So this is a hard nut right now because we have fewer agents, right, doing the business. We have the Denise's owning the market in that space, right? Dave's panel, right, which will be speaking in a couple weeks. That's hard to compete. So how are you as an LO standing out and getting in front of these agents? And that's what we want to help. And with that, I don't know, I see a little special guest coming in. So you tell me, Dave, how you want to frame that. But I'm going to show you a link. We're going to get right into it. I'm going to show you a link. I can go to a listing agent right now and help them market their property to create affordability. If it's a reno property, create renovation options. Go ahead and scan that. I'll leave it up just for a second and I'll open it. The point is this. Yeah, Scott, I've seen a property site, all that stuff, but you haven't seen one like this. Not one that I can stand out with my mortgage coach inside of it. I can bring all my intellectual capital and be seen and heard. There's the huge separation and standing out. I don't know why I think I probably should have restarted my computer. There it is. So now I can bring this property in and bring all of my intellectual capital in. I can bring in my TCA. We can talk about buy downs. I can have a one-to-many video because no one's ever seen this before. Who are you, Scott?
Hi, are you a buyer or are you a buyer
How are
agent
you
saying
helping
market
us,
against-
right? If I'm a buyer agent, what other PDFs and formats that I can bring in? So this is, and I think people don't do open houses, Dave, and I'd be curious on this because they don't have the right technology.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and also I just don't think that they have the right process because it's not just the
Yep.
technology, it's
Yep.
having the winning process to do it. I mean, by the way, Julie just said this platform is fire. Jessica said, "Hey, I missed the QR code." By the way, I'm loving these QR codes because you're just giving people lots of value. The key codes up there again. Also, I had asked Jimmy Weber to join. He's my guest this coming Tuesday on the Tuesday 10X. So I'm going to be interviewing Jimmy on Tuesday at 9 around 10X. But he was a guest, a special speaker at Trust Engine this week, and it actually came up with how he's using Housing Link, and so I thought it would be cool to have him come in and give some color and show how he's doing things. But whenever you have a break, Scott, let's bring
No,
Jimmy in.
let's get Jimmy in here. Jimmy, how are you?
Yeah. Hey, you're on mute, Jimmy. You're on mute, my friend. We haven't heard you yet.
How's that? There we go.
There we go.
How you guys doing?
So, we're good. We're good. Hey, Jimmy, real quick, just to frame this for folks, I had asked Jimmy to come. So I've interviewed Jimmy years ago, and when I've interviewed him in the past, it was, he was incredibly successful, did a lot of production, and his primary referral source was financial advisors. And so a lot of those interviews were like, hey, how are you winning with financial advisors? And I was catching up with him recently, and he's like, you know what? My financial advisors, when the market shifted, they're still good, but they're not great. And I needed to pivot and start, working with more realtors. So Jimmy, real quick, what kind of production are you doing, and what's the split between financial advisors and realtors for you right now?
Last year was about 40. I'm used to doing quite a bit more than that. But again, it's because I'm of course missing my refis. I know we all are, but my financial advisors, the firms that I work with, were great for that. So this year, I should say, trying to get back up to like 50 or 60.
Got it. Well, great production. And again, it was like starting from scratch. So great job on that.
I had to start over. Basically, I put all my eggs in one basket, which, I'm not going to complain as to the position I'm in right now. Everything's great, but it was a start over. It was a wake up call. And Housing Link, formerly the Dash, lender marketing and everything is a huge proponent for me right now with my real estate agents.
Yeah. Show us what example of one of yours so we can just kind of, Scott showing different samples, but you're in the trenches right now. Show us one and describe how you're using it in the marketplace.
This is essentially the presentation within Housing Link that I frame as my mortgage dashboard for my clients. So I use this not only when I'm offering, but also from the start. So I have the pre-approval here, an about you form that I have clients fill out for a nice personal touch. And then of course the kicker, right? I got my TCA walkthrough video with Loom embedded right there. And then the presentation as well, so they can click around and look at this on their own. So this is slick, guys, obviously, but not only do the clients love it, real estate agents are gaudy over it. They just absolutely like, where do you get this? How can my other lenders get this? I'm like, well, let's work together. Instead of your other lenders, let's get me involved now. Now that you've seen my dashboard, how about every single buyer gets this, right? I'll help you grow your business, right? It's another value add that I didn't have before that, now it's just a game changer.
Is that cover video, is that a one, for a customer, or is that a generic video that everybody gets?
It's not, so it's customized for the dashboard. I don't name names or anything, but it gives all the information. So it's a generic every single, yeah, it's generic.
Right, got it. And then the pre-approval letter in the right is clearly, customized. So
That's customized. Of course, this can then be taken directly from here. The agent can go in, view it, and then get it as a PDF very easily. Same with this form. So this form, a little bit about me and my family. The next page, the all about you. So I have my clients fill this out and then send it to the real estate agent before showings. So what I've had a really great success with is somebody shows up with like a purple Gatorade. And they're like, how the hell do you know that I love purple Gatorade? It's because they filled this out. So then the agent has that connection right away that they otherwise wouldn't have had.
Awesome. That's a beautiful process. We'll unpack that more tomorrow.
I would send that before, guys, like via email and a PDF, and people would just, whatever. But because it's in the dashboard, because it's part of this whole presentation, it gets a lot more clicks and I get a lot more pull through on it. Got
it. Yeah. And then you also mentioned that the TCA, you're getting more views of the actual mortgage coach in the interview. Like giving me an idea of how many more mortgage coach views are you getting as a result of the way you're delivering them?
I would think an additional 50%, because not only are my clients viewing it, now the real estate agent is, the seller agent is, and then those realtors are passing this along, like, look what this guy's doing. And then they keep it as an example. Maybe, like I said, if they're sharing it with their lender partners, can you do something like this? I'm getting so many more notifications that these videos, both the Loom and the presentation itself, are getting the views.
Wow, that's incredible, man.
Just additional outreach that, again, I didn't have access to. So it's fantastic. And Scott, you and I have talked many times over the years. You know I love this stuff, man. It's
Oh, yeah.
incredible.
I got a Starbucks gift card coming your way. Got to be RESPA compliant.
I think you need more than a Starbucks gift card after
I
this.
know, whatever. Yeah. Maybe
So
I'll
by
give
the way,
them.
any
Yes.
if the audience, because Jimmy just came in last minute, like once I saw where Scott was going, I texted Jimmy and was like,
Yeah.
because he had just mentioned this earlier in the week and what he's doing and how he's doing it. This Tuesday, 9 o'clock, you can sign up for that at savageinsights.com.
Mhm.
Well, the link for Jimmy will be there in about an hour. But anytime you want to know who I'm interviewing next, it'll be at the top of savageinsights.com. Make sure you come. We'll completely do an interview with Jimmy. But if you have a question for Jimmy, put it in chat ASAP. Because Jimmy, you can stay as long as you want. I just know that you came in last minute.
Yep.
Scott, do you have any questions for Jimmy or anything you want to call out?
No, I want him to stay here. If you could, right? Can you finish the call out with us? I'd love to hear your thoughts because I'm going to show some of the
Can you
back.
stay, Jimmy?
Yeah, I can go to the end of the hour here. I got to
Okay.
get out of here at
Cool.
noon Central.
So
All right.
he's a current member. He had access before today, right? So he's been in it for the week, and and I'm going to ask you just kind of towards the end when I start to show some of it. I open it up in the back end, the software. So I'm going to ask you a few more questions into that. So,
Cool.
but before we go, I pivot on. Awesome job, Jimmy. That is really. I feel like you, Dave. Right? When someone pulls a TCA out, it's like baby. Like, look at that. That's my baby right there.
It
And,
works.
it's
Stuff
just
works,
beautiful
guys.
the creativity. Like everybody has a
Yeah.
different way of
It's
using
all
the
about
tool to
value.
tell
That's
stories and create value.
everything that I've learned from you guys, right, is over the years, it's just value, value, value. And that word gets tossed around so much, but this is a true differentiator. And I'm able to use both your platforms kind of as one here to be that, that golden goose, if you will.
You got to be a coach,
Be a
coaching at
coach,
scale.
right? Educator. It's great.
Yeah, love it. All right. We can just end the call right now. Just call it a day.
No,
Let's
we can't. Keep going.
Just
You got
kidding.
more to show. Let's go.
I'm just kidding.
And we are in the last 15 minutes, so
I
let's
know.
rock
So I'm
it
going
out.
to zip through this stuff, right? So you got your listings, builders, right? You did a phenomenal call with what's her name? Cancer. She's a 2-time. I'm pretty sure
Stephanie
she's
Johnson.
Yes, she's
Mhm.
awesome.
Mhm.
Had, battled that, kept her business going, and I need to go to builders with inventory. She immediately picked it up, put 30% right on her. I mean, it's awesome. And I was watching, I go, man, I'm going to reach out to her. Go, hey, I'd love to help you with some builder stuff. So we have some very big builder LOs on our platform. Patty Newby comes to mind. So builders are a huge deal. So those who want to get into builders, those who are currently are, this is going to help you really stand out. So I want to put this community. So what we have on the platform at Housing Link, it's called communities. It's specifically built for LOs who are going to help builders. And so just like Jimmy's saying, it's packaging everything you can bring together. What do builders know well? Buy downs. You know what they suck at? Marketing buy downs, right? They just throw money at it. Figure it out, Jimmy, right? And go. And so there's your QR code. I'll wait just a couple more seconds, then I'll open this up. Now you have the ability to get into communities, which is a huge deal. And I'm going to pull this up on my other, because I'm going to pivot into the back end just for a second, Dave. Here it is. So now I can bring this whole community in here. Let's say there's 4 different floor plans. I have the builder, I have the sales rep, I have me involved, I have my mortgage coach involved. I have all of this information involved. I can click into and get into different floor plans, specific price points in here. Builders love this. It is the cheat code, so to speak, of an LO getting into and standing out. That's the premise of this. So now I can get into plan A. There's me again, steps, how to get approved, how we can work with different loan products. It just gives you guys a platform to engage builders. And that's basically what we've done with this. Does that make sense? And I'm going to go a little bit quicker, Dave, because I know
You're doing
our
great,
time is.
man. Don't worry about it.
Okay. So Housing Link. So just to summarize here, I'm going to show you the back end right now is in Deb, I don't know if you've seen this yet. Have you been in the communities yet? So we coded Circle into our platform. So now we have this giant ecosystem of learning and training and conversations and public groups and private groups We're releasing templates today. Templates are something that they've been asking me for 5 years. Scott, I just want your stuff. So today, later today, everyone can go into templates, click Scott's builder thing, everything I've shown you, and another 40 of them. They can click use and it dumps and loads into their account so they can go make a couple edits with their TCAs or whatever, and they can go to market with it. Also, Jimmy brought it up a little bit. Analytics. We built our own analytics in our software. It's not a second party. Justin built it into our called server level analytics. So we know who's engaging, what they're engaging with. And so now you can really track the engagement with your consumer. So I'm going to show you a little bit of the back end so you can just kind of get a feel for what we've done. So I'm in my account. I'm in my sample. No, I'm actually in my real account. So when I log in, oops, I get into our LMP this way. I can engage. I'll just click right in. There's our analytics. There's our community. I'm just going to go right into community, Deb and Dave. So this is Circle. So now I can come into here and engage. I can get my courses. I can get trained. I get all of the use cases I'm loading in here from builder presentations. You can click on that, all of this. You can get all the samples. You can get all the strategies. I train on software. So you can come in here and see TCAs that I've done over the years and just start conversation. So you can get in here. We have small accountability teams. I've loaded those teams in here. You can get into all of this stuff. You can come in here and get the live events and the training. Here's the cool thing. Now you can go right into marketing. So this is where you would build your stuff. There you can come in and grab your listing. You can get your communities. You can build your presentations. Everything's in here. And then lastly, if you click on templates, which is, I don't know if we've launched it yet. It's going live today. Let me see. Nope. So you can type in a template you want because you've seen it, or you can jump into a category you want to have. Actually, I think I have, I have it up. So look at this, Deb, and you know this well, I'm going to click into my account. Look at all of the first home IQ. How many of you are first home IQ? A lot of first home IQ. I put all of my first home IQ templates in here. So you can come in here and click, let's just say the down payment, right? When you click use, here's the first home IQ. Click the button. I download this entire presentation into yours. You can have the opening video, replace it with yours. There's my TCA. I bring all the first home IQ assets like down payment. We can get into all of their great materials. So it's about what Housing Link does, guys. It's a platform that allows you to bring your tools together in a single source, take it into a link, and then get into all the different spaces from consumers, from builders to agents to whatever you want, Jimmy and financial planners and all of that. So there's kind of that. I got 10 minutes. I'm finally gonna stop on time, Dave.
Yeah, well, a couple things. So
Yep.
first of all, that was game changing. So for all you first home IQ ambassadors, you've got a resource here to help you teach, educate, stand out, and convert. For all the people that are like, you want to use this platform, Scott just put up a link that you could go to, as well as a QR code. Put in
And we're
Coach 49. It sounds like that's a discount for being
yeah, mortgage
part of
coach.
this
Yeah.
community.
Yep. So there you go.
Okay.
So you can scan that. We'll take you to the home page. You can go ahead and look at it, check it out. You can reach out to us. We can do demos. We do demos, 3 times a week for Mortgage Coach users, new users. You can go sign up at checkout, put Coach 49. It's $49. And then after that, it's $99 a month, no contracts, cancel, and away you go. So you can stand out. And this is my vision. I want to get you away from that and into this so we can all stand out.
Ooh, I like that image. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's another thing I would like to do because I want to know how many people on here are already using this. So if you're using this monthly, weekly, or daily, put that in chat. And if you just signed up, just put in sign up. So
Mhm.
do you use this already, monthly, weekly, daily? We've already Tim Lamb daily. We got 1 sign up, 2 sign up, 3 sign up. Um, so it looks like we've only got one, oh, we got another daily. We got another daily. So we've already got a number of folks that are using this daily. Then we got another daily. So cool. Well, I'm a big fan. I mean, to
Yeah.
me,
There it is
I've
right there. There's the
dedicated
homepage.
my career to turning loan officers into mortgage coaches. And I truly believe that when a loan officer goes from here's your fee worksheet, here's your cash to close, transactional LO, that's always been a disadvantage since Mortgage Coach was founded. But it's more than a disadvantage now. Like the world has changed, and you need to be a coach. You need to coach at scale. We're going to be announcing Mortgage Coach Next Generation in the next couple weeks. We're already starting to talk about it. We already have people signed up, and at an enterprise level for the Mortgage Coach Next Generation. For all you individual Mortgage Coach users, it's going to be a while, but hopefully by the end of the year we'll have Mortgage Coach Next Generation. But this is incredible, and I just can't the partnership between Housing Link, which congratulations on the name. I think that's sweet. By the way, guys, it's housing.link. So there's no .com. It's housing.link. The link is like a .com. So housing.link. Check it out. Also, I would ask anybody watching this, share this with your team. If you are a producing manager on this call, do a branch managers meeting around this. There's so many great strategies to stand out and convert in this market. So Scott, kudos, man.
Yeah,
I'm
I
really
appreciate
happy
the
for you
opportunity and yeah,
and your
all
I
you
team.
mean,
guys.
Dave, imagine
And
if
Jimmy.
when you send out your insights text, if you sent out a housing link where it had the YouTube video and then a taking action notes and even the link to
And I could put
TCAs.
TCAs in that. I could put TCAs in that. So, hey, Paul, make note of that. Deborah just told us another way that we can be more valuable. Because,
Yeah.
Yeah.
guys, that's why I started the YouTube channel. I wanted to be
Yep.
a better leader. I wanted to be more valuable to the industry. I want to change how people get into debt in America. So you're right. Jimmy, what are your thoughts after seeing more stuff? I mean, you might already know everything that you just heard, but any thoughts you have?
No, I need to get on that builder presentation. That's Big
That's
10.
sweet. Yeah.
That's intimidated me for years, but I feel like it's easier now than ever because I know housing, well, to an extent, right? I use it as the dashboard, but I know my way around enough where I should be able to differentiate myself that way as well.
Yeah.
Where's your market, Jimmy?
Chicago.
Oh,
Mm.
nice.
Hey,
So
Jimmy, tell me what you think of this idea. And to me, this idea would work really well with both financial advisors and realtors. But to have every month some of your best strategies, where you call it the strategy of the month or strategy of the month. And in the housing link, you did a video. So like this is the monthly where you're like, this is what's going on in the market. These are the problems. This is how I'm solving it. And I put a couple links down below with how I'm solving these problems. And
Right.
and so for financial advisors, hey, let me show you how someone was going to put $1 million down, and I showed them that they could put 20% down and keep the money with the financial advisor, and look at how the customer is building net worth faster. And so that's one thing. And then like with realtors, it's getting people into escrow. Let me show you how I created urgency with a move-up buyer. They were at a 2 or 3% mortgage, or they needed to buy before they sell. Let me show you how I help an agent get a listing and put a move-up buyer into escrow. So just things that were solving problems that were relevant to them, but it was almost like a monthly strategy update. What are your, first of all, are you doing that? And what do you think of the idea?
I do something like that in my CRM, but it's not as personal, right? Like it'd be a generic video, but it's still a win story. It's somebody's win. It would be real. People love success, right? When I send buy before you sell blast out to my realtor partners, every single time, tell me more. How do we do this? I have so many clients that need to unlock this equity in their home and buy the next home. How do we do this? Housing Link would be a cheat code for that. Actually show the success story with the TCA, with maybe like the appraisal gap strategy, and maybe a 3% down payment rather than 20, because you know that you're going to sell that next home. And then you can move the equity over with, a refi down the road, or even, I mean, hell, we see it.
What about let me jump in one more time, Scott, and then I'll give it back to you.
Go.
What
Keep going.
about
Love this.
what about Jimmy, another strategy where you actually gave this to a realtor and they used a housing link as either a listing presentation or a buyer presentation, but you got your TCA in it. So it's like, hey, agent, you want to upgrade your buyer presentation and your listing presentation? Have you done that?
I don't, but that's on the list. I think I've told you I coach with Tim Brahim and his group, and one of their big things right now is the initial consult needs to be cohesive. You and the realtor as one, right? That doesn't mean that you have to do the Step Brothers thing and you're both sitting in the same room, but this presentation should be showing this is my guy, right? This or gal, this is who I use. This is how we work together. This is how we differentiate ourselves from other people in the market.
To me, that's what Housing Link can solve, because you could just hit duplicate.
Right.
And you could, I mean, how many top partners are you currently working with? Let's say there's maybe 5, maybe max 10. You could do a joint Zoom like this to record that intro video. And now it looks like a cohesive, your one-stop real estate team. Like we represent you. This is where you go for everything you need, is all in this one link to reach us.
It's just sharper too, right? Like it just makes you stand out. And that's the goal right now.
Yeah. So here's an interesting, I'm going to show you something that ties this all together on a visual level, right? So I'm going to show you something. It's called this right here is a digital preview. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
So this is a title rep and myself.
It's Christy Coffee.
Right. So I'll put the link in there. So what we do is this link goes out to all of the agents. They show up on a morning call, and we put the properties, the listings in there, and each agent talks about their listing on a digital level, right? So they can come into here on a digital level, but not only that, when they're done speaking, every agent has the ability to click on the Google form and fill out, comments to that listing agent presenting their property. And then those comments get forwarded over. The point of this is, everybody, this is built on a widget preset. So no matter what the subject is, it could be your daily agent update. You build it on a preset and you have 100 out there, right, Deb? Because you're duplicating them and they're custom to each one. You just record one market update and put it in the preset, and all 100 got updated immediately.
Is there a way of, like, I have clients every Saturday do a magic buyer post, and then every Sunday I have a client who needs to sell XYZ in order to buy. So we're trying to create demand. And the thought is one, if they have a home that they have to sell, like, you have a list of pre-approved buyers.
That's what all those do on the platform. What they do is they have one central location. All of those homes go in there, programs, market updates. Everyone's issued the one link. Everyone's just to share that link. So it's their own ecosystem they've created.
That's crazy.
So guys, I want to make sure people notice the chat between Katie. She's like, you could do a housing link for a weekly CRM touch point. And then Walt Schultz jumps in, who is a client of Deborah Bird's here, and says that's exactly what Deborah does when you work with her. So guys, make sure number one social media consultant, Deborah Bird, is still open for business. In fact, I met some mortgage advisors in Columbus, Ohio that had just recently hired her. So check her out at plugandplaysm.com. And then guys, Scott, I just can't tell you how impressed I am. I've, always been a fan of you. I've kept an eye on your platform for years since you started it, and really appreciate you, man. And this, housing link, I love the name, housing.link, everybody, not housinglink.com. It's housing.link. And then Jimmy, thanks for just jumping in last minute.
Thanks for having me.
If you could, in prep for our call next week, I would love a couple sample TCAs to be ready, a couple sample housing links. And then I would love, clearly let's talk about how you've pivoted and how you're winning with realtors, but let's make sure we also talk about how you're winning with financial advisors. because I think diversity matters. I think loan officers, well, first of all, if you want to be a modern mortgage originator, first of all, you need to make a mental shift that you're a coach, you deliver advice, use technology like this. And I do think part of being modern mortgage originators, you have multiple pillars. You've got realtors, you've got financial advisors, you've got builders, you have a diverse set of referral partners. And then, of course, data. Like if you are not using your database to identify who's most likely to buy, sell, and refinance, and then delivering a mortgage coach experience, like that's what we do here at Trust Engine. And we're helping actually like tell you in an app who's most likely to sell right now. And part of Mortgage Coach Next Gen is that we're using technology to actually create the TCA for you so that the data, maybe even some AI, is actually creating that TCA. So hopefully you got value today. We went a few minutes over. If you have not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, do that right now. If you are not following savageinsights.com, that is where you can get links for all the content that I create. And then there's a mobile club, about 2 links down. There's a phone number. Just, say, sign me up and you'll be part of my mobile club. And about 2, no more than 3 times a week, I text a coaching, like anything to help you go from loan officer to mortgage advisor. Check it out. All right, guys, this is a wrap. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Jimmy.
guys.
Appreciate everybody.
Reach out to me.
Take care.
I'll help you. All right. See you guys. Take care. Bye.